Hey guys, Zach Anderson of Valley Estate and Elder Law here to tell you about 3 things that you may not want in your last will and testament. The first is anything that is against public policy. Now, this is something that is a very rare exception for when a court might strike down something in your will, and it has to be pretty egregious. For example, I leave all my assets to my son so long as he does not marry someone of a certain religion or a certain race or a certain gender for that matter. That's going to be possibly, probably against public policy, and it may be struck down by a court. If you want to put a provision like that in your last will and testament, we we may want to have a different type of discussion, maybe with like a therapist or something. That's the first thing, anything against public policy. Second, complex trusts. They really don't have any place in your last will and testament. Those should be either a standalone trust, some type of standalone revocable living trust, a trust jetting out created by a revocable living trust, something like that. I just generally don't like complex trusts going through the probate process, which is what wills do. So probably best to keep complex trusts out of the will and use a different vehicle to create and fund those. And third, anything you want private, you should not put in your will. This is because wills are probated to become effectual, to become effective. That is, you have to probate them in order for them to mean anything. You can't walk into the bank with the will and say, hey, it's my money, I'm the beneficiary, give me my money. It has to go through the probate process. That, at least in Alabama and in most, if not all states, is going to be somewhat of a public process. In Alabama, it's a fairly public process. So if you're doing anything that you want private, disinheriting a child, providing for grandchildren, making a specific distribution. I want, this gun to go to this person. If you want to keep anything like that private, probably not best to put it in your will. There's 3 things you may want to look at keeping out of your will.